They say that the average college student changes their major 3 times. I only changed it once. I still don't know if that was a good idea or not.
If you thought crazy stuff only happened to me when my family was around, you'd be sorely mistaken. I've always been a magnet for crazy, especially during the school years.
So I had 2 nicknames on campus while I was there. One of them, I mean, people still use both these names sometimes, but obviously not on the internet because everyone here knows me as Okami. But my first nickname is Grandpa, and I got it because I'm old. Can't you see how old I am? A lot of the Chinese students, especially when they come, they've already been to college once, and they're a little bit older than us. They've been in college before, they've been in school before, and then they get to go study abroad. So by the time they get to us for study abroad, a lot of times they're older than I was at the time. I was 18 going into college, so I was like 19, but everyone was older than me. And we had this running joke because I would try and help all the kids, and I hung out with Chinese kids all the time, and most of them were older than me. And as a joke, this one time, I was like chasing after them, trying to help them do stuff in the gym and what have you. It was like, and one of my grandkids turns to me. That's actually how they became my grandkids. One of the girls turns to me and she's like, "God, you're like a grandpa." And I was like, you whippersnappers, oh. It just kind of stuck. Also, it's kind of cute because occasionally on Father's Day, I'll get texts and messages on Facebook or whatever that are like, "Happy Father's Day, Grandpa," and I think it's the most adorable thing ever. But before I was Grandpa, I got the nickname Mama Hawk, also for helping international students. Because I used to do this thing where, well, not me particularly, but I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm pretty good at spotting someone in distress. It doesn't matter where they are. I can just I'll make a beeline to them. I know that they're in trouble and what have you. And a lot of the international students, for some reason, they would come into Hasbrook, and if they didn't have anyone to eat with, they just kind of like wander around and look sad and stuff. And like I always spot them and bring them over to the table. And this one time, I had done it in the dining hall at least twice that day. And then I went outside, and one of the international students was lost on campus. Like they were just wandering around, and they weren't like they were in my line of sight, obviously, but they were far, far away. And I went over to go help them. One of my friends that I was with, she was like, "God, you could spot an Asian in distress a mile away. Got eyes like a hawk. You're like a mama hawk." So I mean, that's my other nickname, and now you know why people call me those. Remember when I said, you know I changed my major during college. That's something I've mentioned previously. I went in with computer science. The computer science curriculum hadn't been changed in like 30 years. And there was no fucking way I was making it through Calc 3 that I needed to complete the course. And I was like, no. And my minor had been Asian Studies, so I decided to change my minor to my major. So Asian Studies became my new major, and I picked up linguistics as a minor. But when I moved over, I actually have a picture of it. I'm gonna show you guys. Bam! There's actually a picture on Facebook that my friend took. The same one who came up with the Mama Hawk nickname. She was walking with me as I went in to turn in the permission slip, as she called it. My permission slip to play with an abundance of Asians. That's what we called my major change form. A permission slip to play with an abundance of Asians. And there's actually a picture. It was a very momentous occasion. It was a very momentous occasion. But yeah, that's kind of how we saw it. It was just my permission slip to play with an abundance of Asians. I know a lot of people choose their major because they think that that's what's going to help them succeed in a career. But there are still some people who pick a major just based on what they want to learn. And that's what I did. I will say I enjoyed college very much because of it. I enjoyed college way more after I signed my permission slip to play with an abundance of Asians than I did when I was in computer science, and I couldn't do fucking anything right. Which is weird because I'm on a computer all the time, but just, Java. I was actually having a conversation with a friend of mine a while ago, and we were talking about relationships in general, and she was saying that one thing that girls really like in a guy is someone who's inclusive, someone who can include them in everything. And she was like, you are perfect at that. You can include anyone in anything. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. One way I really got like the international students to open up and, you know, be happy, and because a lot of international students come for the first week, they don't talk to anyone, they're too afraid to speak English, and they just sit in their rooms and cry. And I hate hearing that story. That's a story you hear every semester. Every semester. I was in my room for the first 2 weeks just crying because I couldn't make friends and I was afraid to talk to my roommate and what have you. I'm just like, I hate that. I hate that fucking story. Ah, everyone has that story and I hate it. One thing, oddly enough, is Rock Band and DDR. Like, if you can show someone who's afraid that you're not afraid of looking like a moron in front of other people, like they will open up, like, wow, like giant bay doors will open up, like the castle is open and they will open up real quick. So I did a lot of Rock Band and a lot of DDR with international students, and even if they're bad at it, like they just have fun and everybody's laughing and everyone's happy. So I mean, it may not work for you, but if you really want someone to open up and you want them to be more comfortable in their own skin and what have you, show them that you too can be a moron. It also helps people, like with Rock Band especially, people who don't speak English as a first language, a lot of them, when they hear a song that they know and they recognize, they'll be like, oh, that's cool. But when you ask them to sing it, they'll be like, no, I can't do that. But I mean, when you sing a song, especially in Rock Band, it doesn't matter as much because you don't actually have to say the words. You just have to hit the notes, sort of. It's good to like give them an easy song that's got an easy beat to match. So we used maps in the first Rock Band, I think it is. I think it's in the first Rock Band. Because I feel like Rock Band came out as I was in college, the first one. So maps is really good at giving people like the confidence to learn to sing. Because I mean, at the end of college, I was tutoring someone, and one of the exercises we would do to help them learn English is they really liked music and they liked to sing along. So we would like analyze the lyrics of a song. We would work on the metaphor and the simile and what have you. And it would also just help them get more comfortable saying the words, because if it's in the song, you don't feel as bad when there's music behind you and you're just saying words and what have you. Like that's really good. So maps is excellent if someone's not good at English but wants to learn to sing, because the whole song is just like that's it. It's so simple. Now, one weird thing that this gave me after I signed my permission slip to play with an abundance of Asians was that pretty much everyone that didn't know me well thought I was gay on campus, because I was always surrounded by, there's a lot more female international students than male, especially from Asia, which is a little weird, but it kind of makes sense. Like in Japan especially, I've had it explained to me that the women, if they want to be desirable to men, or at least they think that this is a thing, but it's a pretty common perception in the culture that they want to be desirable in either the workforce or to men, they have to be worldly. So a lot of them are pretty much forced to study abroad, or they won't, you know, they're not viewed as desirable. And I don't know if that's true for China as well, but it is true culturally, perception-wise, for Japan. So there's a lot of girls, and I was always with the girls because there's just a lot of them. And like I go to Hasbrook, and one of the guys, the other D, the D that should have been Big D, because he's actually the biggest D in there. Oh, that sounds bad. His name started with B, and he was the biggest one in Hasbrook. He'd always be like, "Hey, you wanna set me up with some of your girls?" You're like, I'm not a pimp. Like, it's not my job. You want to get with them, talk to them. Just talk to them. There weren't that many evil children there. There'll always be children. I'm in grandpa mode now, so grandkids, children. Sorry, I mean students. Not many of them were evil. I mean, it's pretty evil, but besides her, not really that many of them that were evil. And actually, Kenbei keeps making jokes about it now. He's like, "Share! You got all these bitches! Why you no share?" I actually have a very good friend of mine now. We didn't talk that much in college, but we were around one another a lot. She only found out I wasn't gay like last year, and I graduated college in 2011. A lot of people on campus thought it, just because. But I mean, it's so weird that you would assume because I don't want to stick my dick in everything that I'm around. Like it's weird because they call me grandpa. Like I don't want to be on top of someone and be like, yeah, call me grandpa. Like, no, that's fucking weird. You don't you don't bang your family. Ugh. I mean, in the South maybe, but here not so much.
Hey there, guys and gals. I hope you're enjoying Season 2 of On Fairy Tales, The School Years. As always, you can click the link on the left to see the previous episode, or you can click the link on the right to see the playlist, where you can see all the episodes so far. Not only did I meet some amazing students while I was at New Paltz, but also some of the professors were pretty cool too. Some of them.